Well, the day ain't working out like I thought it was gonna, but that's okay. We were gonna work on a pig pen out back in the woods, put some new posts in, work on the wire. I say we, me. But I went back and checked the hayfield a while ago, and it's good, but it's not good. What's good is we have got a lot of hay on the ground. What's not good is we got so much hay that it's still really green on the bottom. So I gotta go tether. Let's get hooked up. Before we go hook up to the tether, I'm gonna go ahead and take this front end loader off. It's been giving me issues breaking bolts. Kinda in a hurry, so I'm gonna hurry up and get it off the tractor. We can get going. Learned something a while back. I don't know if you'd ever have to do this, but I'm gonna try to get the camera position. Yeah, right there. All right. So I've got 4 hoses that run this front end loader. Put some stickers on here a while back. The last time I unhooked it to make it a little easier, because they go into a block and you gotta figure out which one goes where. So now I got bottom right. Let's see what the other one is. Bottom right and top right are still on there, so I can unhook them. Oh, I gotta release pressure. I'm not showing you because I can't do nothing without getting nasty. But, and I should have done this before. Get you a piece of tape if you don't have them label makers. Left, or let's see. Oh, I need a Sharpie. Top, left. Anyone to do it. Anyway, let's see. You don't have a towel to wipe on? You always got jeans. All right, so I need to throw these over the top. I really need to get them replaced. So to get the hay ready to dry, or get it to start drying better, we got to utilize this thing right here. It's called a tether. It spins all 4 of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, I'll lay these down and these tires will be rolling on the ground. But they all kind of spin together and they'll pick it up and throw the hay. And it helps turn it over, air it up, or fluff it up where air can get under it. And yeah, but this thing is about on its last leg. I think the next piece of machinery that we buy is gonna have to be another tether. They gotta be in perfect timing when they turn, because each of these are gonna turn. This, you'll have one of these bars on the other one that'll be right here as they're turning, so they gotta hit at the exact right time. If they don't, they'll start hitting each other, braking, and trying to get it right back in time is a pretty big chore. This one right down here, sad to say, it's missing several pieces. I have put arms back on it. They'll last maybe 2 or 3 hours. They'll start hitting, getting out of time or something, and it's just a pain. We'll be out here fixing it. This is one piece of machinery. About every time we use it, something breaks. So when you have a piece of machinery that every time you use it, it seems like it's breaking, you know it's time to replace that piece. And I know it's time to replace this one. So one of the pieces that broke on it last time, my brother was actually using it tethering for me, was the top of this. It sits here and wears on this back and forth, back and forth. Finally wore and broke for the second time because I'd done welded and repaired it, and it broke again. So now instead of just using a pin to put down through it, we got to bolt it on there. So I had to bring it to the house for 2 reasons. Number 1, these always stay in the tractor. And for number 2, we got a dead tire. First, before I forget it, I'm gonna tighten this bolt. Okay, so here's the #1 reason we're out here doing this. This is a lot of extra fuel, time, and just wear and tear on equipment. But you look at this, man, it looks really great. Really great. You come in here, you turn the whole thing over. That's just like we just cut it. So you gotta get that up off the ground, off the bottom. And that's what this tedder does. So I've already went one round all the way around the field, so you can see where I've been, out there where I haven't been, wet. That'll be mold or fire. If you put up uncured hay into your barn and it don't get a whole lot of oxygen moving to, I don't know all the technical terms for it, but it will spontaneously combust in a barn. Seen it happen numerous times. It will happen out in the field, but it's more likely, I've seen it more often in a hay barn. So all this that we've already went through, got a lot of green in it. That's not good. Where I just came through, you can see where it's thrown it out, or where it's not thrown it out to where it has. Look at this. Bad. Oh, that's... And I knew it was like this, that's why I'm back here. But we are blessed with a thick cutting. This is gonna be great. It may not work out just like I wanted it to. I actually may have to take off work Monday and bale this, but I'm giving it a shot right now to get it up, get it fluffed up, get air moving through it, because it is, wind's blowing lightly today. But I have got a lot of field to go, so I gotta get busy. Done. 3.5 hours. And there was a bunch of really wet, still really green grass. Wrap this thing up, get in transport mode, and get back home. So you remember yesterday I was making mention of everything tears up eventually, and the tedder is the next thing that we're gonna have to replace because it's just constantly tearing up. Well, the reason I can't buy one of them right now is because we just bought this beast. This is actually a used baler, but it's virtually brand new. It has only been through 1,700 bales, and that's just a break-in period. So we upgraded on our baler because our other baler, it was just constantly working on it, breaking belts, bearings going out. The last time we baled, there was a bearing squealing. I couldn't quite figure out which one it was. I oiled a few of them, but I just prayed that, Lord, just help us get through this last baling of our last cutting, and I'm gonna go find a new one. I found this one at a really good deal. I say really good deal. Things right now are just crazy expensive, so it was a good deal for what it is and what everything's going for right now. So we're gonna get it all hooked up. We have baled with it. We baled 30 bales with it on our last cutting. That was just something that was trying to get us to get by. Wasn't even really worth cutting, but had to. That was a stupid mistake. Oh, I hate it. So I had a brain fart, or whatever you want to call it, lapse in memory. I was back here filling up the hydraulics on it, just topping everything off. And then Andrea pulled up. I went and put the hydraulic fluid back up. Went inside to eat lunch before we took off. Walking back out, and it just light bulb went off my head. So that's probably been going out here 30 minutes. I mean, the fuel tank on the tractor is completely full. I just wonder if the one standing up is empty. So one of the cool new features of this thing is it's got a hydraulic lift on the bell pickup. So all I got to do now is hit this lever and it goes down. I don't have to get out and do nothing. So the thing has several cool features. Like right now, it's telling me it's real close and it's fixing to tell me to stop. Right about now. And it does not use line, it uses the net route. That keeps your bell fresher throughout the winter. Another cool feature is I don't have to back up. I can just stop, lift the tailgate, it's got a kicker on the back, kicks it out. I put it back in gear and just keep going. The only downside to it is the thing doesn't have lights. Like the last monitor that we were using on the John Deere baler, it had a couple lights on it. Yellow ones would flash telling me I'm getting close to being full, and then it goes solid yellow telling me I'm full. This one's got numbers, but it goes off of a high-pitched beat. And for those of y'all that do not know, I'm pretty deaf. I've lost 80 and 90% hearing in certain decibels in my ears. The only reason I know that is because I got to do an annual test at work. And all that stems from shooting guns. I like to shoot guns, but don't do it without hearing protection.
Hey y'all, so it is the next day. I think Ben showed you guys yesterday that this grass was still really wet. I want to show you guys it today. You can see we're out here baling, so that's good. It really dried out overnight. Let me grab some here. You can see it's much drier than yesterday. It's like this all the way down to the bottom. Ben came out here and ran the tedder over it, which basically is like a big broom, honestly, it kind of just stirs it up. It's like a big mixing bowl. I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of stirs it up, fluffs it up, flips it over, and that really helped it dry out between yesterday and today. We had a heavy dew this morning, so we weren't able to start until probably about 1 o'clock this afternoon, but it is definitely rattling today. You can hear the rattling sound, or I hope you can. It's definitely rattling, definitely totally dry. It's pretty much optimum conditions for it to be being baled today. It's just ready, but it's not too dry, so I'm hoping this is gonna make our best hay yet. I'm walking across this field. I want to show you guys something that is a real problem out in these hay fields. But while I'm looking at it, I don't know how much Ben told you on this video about our new hay baler. We are so pumped to have it. This is in no way any kind of commercial or anything. It's just, we bought it full price. It is just a hay baler that we found that was exactly what we needed at a local dealership. But one of these days, there's some things that, even though we pretty much live in a glass house and we do YouTube videos, we don't share exactly everything on here because some things we do keep private and close to our hearts. But it is just one of those stories. This hay baler is literally kind of our comeback story. If you remember last year, we had a fire, actually 2 fires in our hay barn. And through a series of events, those were pretty much devastating events for us, and it just showed us that we really needed, of all things, a new hay baler. You might think, well, you look like you need a new barn, but really we needed a new hay baler because hay was in that barn. That's one thing that really got going and caught on fire, and once hay catches on fire, it's really hard to put out. And we knew then and there we need a hay baler that will net wrap because we do not need to be storing hay in our barn. But we were working with pretty old equipment and ours only did the string. You've seen us cut the hay strings before. And so we knew then that that needed to be our next purchase, but it simply was just not in the cards. We live on a budget. We have to budget everything we do. We don't want to go into debt for a lot of things, and it just wasn't in the cards at that time. But through some wild series of events and literally wild blessings from God, we were able to get this hay baler. Just things working out and working together that it would take me a pretty good video to explain it all to you guys. And I promise one of these days to do that. But for now, I just want to leave it at that. God literally blessed us and put this hay baler in our lap, and we couldn't be more thankful. It's exactly what we needed, and we're hoping it's going to serve us for years to come. And that, my friends, is an armadillo hole. They are a pain out here in our hay field. They dig these huge holes, and then when you hit those with a tractor, because when the grass grows up, they're hidden, or even when the grass isn't grown up, the further I walk away from it, you can tell that you can't really see it as well anymore. They will about throw you through the roof. So they're one of our challenges out here. I try to show the good, bad, and ugly, and they're definitely one of the challenges of the hayfield. One thing I want to mention, we got a really good deal on this hay baler. I don't know the exact model and all the things about it. Ben can tell you that a lot better than me. But I know we like to bale 5-foot by 5-foot hay bales. And a lot of people around us do not like those. They don't like 5-foot wide bales. They get 4-foot. And so actually around here, you would think that something that bales a bigger bale would be more expensive, but it's definitely less expensive because it's less desirable. The reason for that is that people a lot of times sell their extra bales, and so if you're baling a smaller bale, obviously they can return a bigger profit on selling them. Also, there's limitations on who and what can pick up a 5-foot bale because 5x5s are quite a bit heavier. So we got a good deal simply because that's what we wanted. We like the bigger bales. We are feeding all of this hay to our cows, so this is less hay we have to put out because the bales are bigger. And really pumped, you could see behind me in some of the shots, these bales are net wrapped. So this baler also has the ability to net wrap, which is going to allow us to be able to store this outside and keep the quality much higher than if we were storing string wrapped bales outside.